Not all learning is equal. Over 50 years ago, Benjamin Bloom, an educational psychologist, identified various levels of learning that he arranged in a hierarchical fashion. Hierarchical means that the levels are such that one is higher or lower than the other. In order to achieve a higher level, one has to achieve at least parts of the levels below. Bloom subdivided learning into 6 levels. From lowest to highest, they include knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. Just because we earn a really good grade in a course does not mean we really learned the material. Some state that 95% of questions that students answer on exams only require the lowest level of learning, knowledge. The knowledge level requires students to simply recall information. Intellectual activities associated with the knowledge level include remembering, memorizing, recognizing, recalling, and describing. Think about how you may have approached learning information in your world history course. You may have been presented with a series of facts about world belief systems. You might have memorized the philosophies associated with Taoism, Confucianism, Buddhism, and Hinduism. However, you may not have done the intellectual work that allowed you to really understand these belief systems. You probably weren't required to gain a greater understanding. Your examinations likely consisted primarily of multiple-choice questions that essentially required you to recognize key words and phrases associated with the various belief systems. You were essentially learning at the knowledge level. Now, just because knowledge is the lowest level of learning, it does not mean that it is unimportant. In fact, it is the foundation that all other levels of learning are built. Rather than simply recalling them, comprehension requires students to demonstrate an understanding of facts and concepts. Intellectual activities associated with comprehension level learning include interpreting, summarizing, paraphrasing, and explaining. Students who have learned at the comprehension level may be able to assist others with their learning. They may be able to more easily explain facts and concepts and organize them in ways that may be different from how they were presented. Think about how you may have learned about the digestive system in your biology class. At first, you may have simply memorized the digestive system organs: mouth, esophagus, stomach, intestines. This is knowledge level learning. However, as you moved toward comprehension, you began to understand how the different organs are related and dependent on each other. You became better at relying on your own words rather than the textbook words to relate function. In essence, you were able to demonstrate a deeper understanding of the digestive system beyond simply recalling the names of random organs. The next highest level of learning after comprehension is application. Rather than only recalling, interpreting, and organizing learned material, when students learn at the application level, they are also able to use the learned material in new ways. Intellectual activities associated with application level learning include problem solving, using, manipulating, and illustrating. Think about learning geometry. At one point, you may have learned how to calculate the area of a quadrilateral. If you are learning at the application level, then you might find ways to use this new academic skill. Let's say you found a summer job. Towards the end of the summer, you have a little extra money in your pocket, so you decide that you want to redecorate your bedroom. Once you get permission, you decide you will paint the walls and place new tiles on the floor. You don't have a lot of extra money, so you want to purchase just the right amount of materials. You realize you can measure the dimensions of the floor and walls and calculate their area. You also note how much area a gallon of paint and a single box of tiles will cover. You know exactly how much of each to purchase. You have applied your geometry knowledge to the real world. Whenever possible, high school students should strive hard to achieve the application level of learning. This level marks the beginning of transforming what may seem like useless facts into valuable and usable information that can be relied upon for years to come. So while in high school, if you strive to at least reach the application level of learning, you will set yourself up for deeper and more meaningful education experiences. Getting to this level is not easy. You have to actively engage yourself in learning. You have to be attentive in class and actually look for ways to connect the material to the real world. Of course, your teacher can help, but a large part of learning is on you. The next video in this series will briefly examine the higher levels of learning. Though these levels of learning are not typically required in high school, they are necessary for college success, and so trying to achieve them in high school is good practice.